G'day guys, Josh here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Now, I'm going to do a quick review of Diablo Immortal. If you guys are unaware, I played Diablo Immortal earlier in the week. And I've got to say, I went to the game knowing that it was very, very pay to win and stuff like that. But I've got to say, the gameplay mechanics overall, I did enjoy it. I felt like it was a serviceable game. I didn't experience too much of the pay to win mechanics. A lot of people said that they occur later on. I played a Demon Hunter, as you can see here, my double crossbows with some of my footage that I show here as well. Now, I want to go through what Diablo Immortal got right. Okay, so what Diablo Immortal got right and what effectively did they get wrong. Now, the first things first, what they got right overall, firstly, is the fact that it's just a simple game that you can play on your mobile and you can sit there and very, very easy to do. Mind you, this is on the PC. Just be aware of that as well. This is on the PC, as I'm not playing at the moment. Now, the Demon Hunter was very, very interactive, very, very fun with the strafe mechanic and also the AoE mechanics and stuff like that as well. Problem is that I've kind of lost lost arc mode on, where I'm clicking to move when you can actually move your WASD keys. Now, overall, it plays like a normal Diablo game, where basically it's just a shoot 'em up, get massive kills, and loot does indeed drop. Now, as you can see here, they've got multiple quests here, and just learning how to learn the quest log. It's about 20 million different menu items and stuff like that, which can be quite complicated, and I did find it a bit overwhelming at times as well. But I can tell you right now, that is very normal for a gacha game to try and overwhelm you with content and systems of currencies that you may not even need. And it's to try and entice you to buy, items and, stuff like that. They even do the same thing with the orb shop as well, where basically the orb shop will never be enough, and they want to entice you to buy a certain one that will be enough, which is, funnily enough, the 10 orbs for not $21, sorry, 40 Australian dollars. Now, overall, with Diablo Immortal, the storyline is just a bit much of a vibe session back in the days with Diablo 2, with how the old characters have progressed with their story. You do get to meet Deckard Cain, you do get to meet Chazi, you do get to meet Akara from Act 1, Kasha from Act 1 as well, even Flavy from Act 1 as well, and a few new characters along the way. Now, you do meet as well, apparently you do go back to Luke Lane, and you do go back to the areas of Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, and Act 4 and stuff like that to see how it's progressed ever since then. And also, if you're wondering, yes, you do kill King Leoric once again, and he seems like he's always one guy that's always being killed. Now, with this game as well, they've learned from previous games that you don't actually have to rank up your skills as per se. The skills automatically rank up for you, and are already attached to your bar. Now, from the gameplay perspective, this game is very easy to get. Very easy to get a few kills on the board, and very easy to follow. There's not really too much difficulties to do so. The big down point I'm going to say right now is that it makes you... There's these rifts that they do make you pay to win, to get the crests, to get more loot. But at the same time, it just makes me want to play D3 a lot more, because Diablo 3 has already got all the things that Diablo Immortal have, but to a better level and for a much cheaper price. Like, for example, if you do want to get legendary gems and stuff like that, you may have to spend about thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do so. Or you can pay $80 or whatever Diablo 3 costs at the moment to play Diablo 3 and get a full entire game, and you get more on the side as well. This is basically Diablo 3, but with stripped back features, where Diablo 3 is a more complete game. But if you enjoy a vibe session with your old characters, going back in the old days of Diablo 2, you definitely enjoy this game, because there's a lot of lore to it, which really expands on how Akara and the Sisterhood, the Sisterhood are going, the side. It also explains, Luke Lane, how that's going. I'm not sure if you go back to Karast and any other areas like that, but it really, extends those areas essentially. And, how the storyline's going after the fact. And they also have their own problem as well with the Dark Wood. You also go back to some old areas as well, which is pretty awesome, especially the Rogue encampment. You do go back to that eventually. But I don't think you go back to the Rogue Monastery, which is unfortunate, but I do want to go back there. But overall, with the game, some of the boss mechanics, some of the graphics are pretty good as well. In fact, one of the second bosses in Lurak, where there's a demon underneath the floor, was pretty cool to do. And also, you get to know a few more characters from the previous games, like Zul, for example, who's in D3, and you get to see his predecessor story that he talks about. Anyways, guys, that's it for my Diablo Immortal. I give it a bit of a rating of about 3 out of 5. I think the gameplay does save it a bit, but its pay-to-win mechanics really, really takes away from the experience. I feel like if you want to just have a game that you can just vibe to or just play on the toilet, Diablo Immortal is definitely one of them. And also at the same time, if you want to have a game where you want to just check on how the characters you really talk to in D2, such as the Act 1 players, you know, Kara and stuff like that, how they've gone since then, just be really, really good to do so. Now, here's obviously the battle pass, and here's like the 20 million different currency systems, which are ultimately can be very, very frustrating to navigate. In fact, there's 21 systems that you have to navigate, which can be very, very brutal. Now, we're going to go into the first rift here, which is giving the Mad King's Breach. And essentially, we're going to we're going to zoom through to show you the pretty awesome mechanics. So you can see here the boss is actually underneath the ground. You can see that there as well. And I think that's a pretty cool mechanic. Like the boss is under the ground. Like you can see what you'll be facing in a short while. You can see here the boss is underground. So you can see here. And that's pretty cool to see. And, you know, the first dungeon is pretty fun. But the biggest issue is after you clear the first dungeon, it immediately asks you whether or not you want to pay a little pack to get 800% extra value. And that value gets worse and worse and worse as you go along with the game. And I feel like you don't need this pay to win mechanic. It reminds me of gacha games where you do that sort of shit. And obviously I know this is probably is a gacha game. But like I wouldn't expect this from Blizzard. Like wouldn't expect this from Blizzard. I'm very disappointed that that's in fact is the case. Anyways, guys, hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you have an enjoyable time. If you do enjoy playing Diablo Immortal, give me a hit up and give me a reason why I should continue playing the game instead of going back to D3. Also, funnily enough, we've gone back to D3. I saw Creparian go back to D3, and I'm starting to think like is he under the same vibes that I'm under? Because I was thinking every time I was playing this game, I just wanted to play Diablo 3 a bit more. And the funny thing is, I don't have Diablo 3 installed. But that's what it gave me the vibes of, and I've got characters to go with it. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and give me your opinion on Diablo Immortal.